See, guys, Linux has gotten so much easier, right? You totally don't have to learn Turbo Nerd 9000 level stuff to get Linux going.
You don't actually.
Stupid checkbox I've been missing the entire time.
Actually, now that I'm thinking, I think there is one thing you could try on Linux without terminal. Get your own AI model running on there.
What are the chances Trump would have his face on that bill? You go to the store to buy a $2 item. Crap, I only have this $1 trillion bill.
And imagine...
People will think you're robbing the place.
Oh no, I'm scared of Alpha now. I'm scared of the DeWall. Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode of iTunes Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Tay Macker from the iTunes Fanboy.
And my name is Alpha DeWolf.
And I want to thank Alpha for editing this episode because I'm currently filming an Apple collection video in the midst of doing that anyway, which is how come I was late. We were late to this episode because I was busy editing it, and then I had to wait till get supper until real late, and so I had to wait at Subway, and then I had to use the bathroom. My toilet tank is in stainless steel refill, so anyway, I'm here now, and we're ready to start recording. So shall I go ahead and move on to start with a topic? Our first topic out of 24, which is that this is actually a topic I forgot to include last week.
Oh yeah, how'd the alignment go?
So my car's front end alignment, it's been realigned. It went pretty well because my car was lowered because it has an aftermarket AMG package on it. As a result, they were only able to do like a toe adjustment thing, but a draw is much better now.
Yeah, I bet it does.
Yeah, it feels pretty good to drive. That's all I have to say about that. Shall we move on to Alpha's Linux challenge?
Yes. I don't know if I've alluded to this before, but I finally decided to take the plunge because I keep dealing with plenty of Windows frustrations, and even though it doesn't matter, I still have to use Windows for work no matter what because the one application I need is literally only available on Windows. SolidWorks. I decided on my personal computer right beside me, I actually have a few, currently have 3 drives in it. I've got the main 1 terabyte SSD with my Windows install. I've got a second 128 gig SSD that is only there for TrueNAS, but I haven't gotten that set up yet because I'm still waiting on the rest of my hard drives to come, and I only have one of the 3 hard drives as of right now. So I decided, all right, I've got that 128 gig SSD, I might as well put it to use. And so I installed Linux, specifically Zorin OS. That's what I landed on.
Is this going to be like a Mac replacement?
It's not going to be a full Mac replacement. Right now, I'm on the MacBook Pro, and that's because I still got to figure out a few things. I mean, we're doing FaceTime right now, so...
Yeah. And you'll be... And thank you once again for editing, but you'll be editing the show as well, which I assume you'll use the MacBook for.
Yeah, I have to figure out video editing software available on Linux, and also... That computer doesn't have dedicated graphics, so I'm not entirely sure how smoothly it'll go. It has whatever Intel's XE whatever graphics those are, so...
Because this is our show and we only get an opportunity to record once a week, I'd say stick with Final Cut Pro for now.
Yeah, well, this weekend anyway, I'm taking off for Petoskey again, so I have to take the MacBook with me. The PC doesn't come with, so...
Are you enjoying the Canadian smoke?
It finally passed by. I think we're done with it for now, at least.
All right, hang on. I have to get something here. Not the place to go.
Where's my map?
I have to get some reactions. Yeah. All right. I got the balloons.
All right. So if I'm pulling up my map here real quick, and so it looks like we will be getting some again. Yeah, there's still some hanging around, and a lot of smoke hanging around in Saskatchewan and Manitoba. There's a few really bad spots, but it's mostly in the yellow to yellow-orange, something like that.
And a lot of that is in actual Canada itself. And actually, right now the South has, well, the Deep South especially has worse air quality.
Yeah, I'm noticing that Alabama's got some yellow.
I see.
Western edge of Tennessee and Missouri. The border between Tennessee and Missouri's got a bright yellow patch there.
I don't know what exactly is going on. I mean, I know in my area specifically we were having some pollen issues, so that could be causing it. But and also it's just hot out too, so.
Oh, it was miserable today. I've actually changed shirts today.
It's 78 degrees where I am right now.
It is 75.
75? That's nothing!
75 is okay here.
Yeah.
75 is okay.
Yeah, that's true. But have you had to go to the terminal yet in Linux?
No, I should. I haven't toyed around with it that much. I just got it installed last night, but my goodness, getting it to install was an absolute hassle. It took me over 2.5 hours to get it figured out.
That's Linux for ya.
Yeah, so what effectively happened was I got my bootable installer, plugged it in, we get to the set up an installation screen, and it initially wanted to target my 1TB SSD, the one with the Windows partition. I didn't want to install it there. I wanted to install it on my separate 128 gig SSD. So I had to tell it, okay, nope, we're not going to use the Samsung. We're going to go for the Patriot. The problem was I could not get it to... It saw the Patriot SSD. The problem was it didn't want to format it.
Oh.
It took me so long. I'm trying so many different things. It just did not want to format the SSD. And so, thankfully, the setup thing has a disk management software or something like that, whatever its equivalent to disk utility is. But even then, that was just a nightmare interface to get through. You had it wasn't labeled like Samsung SSD or Patriot SSD. It was labeled something like dev/NVMe1/NVMe2. I think those are like the actual names of the slots on the motherboard. I think that's where it's getting those names from. And then it listed the individual partitions as dev/NVMe whatever slash P1 or something like that. What the heck? So I'm trying to read through this thing, and the only thing I have to go off of is, there's this tab bar here that says the capacity of these partitions. So that was all I had to go off of. Otherwise, I was completely guessing what I'm modifying here. And even then, I just couldn't get it to format. It just refused to format until I finally found the one checkbox I was missing this entire time.
What checkbox was that?
Are you sure you want to format this partition to this?
Oh my gosh! It's all every time Every time it seems like you spend forever on a computer bug, you realize it's just something so small.
It was that stupid. So I'm all over Firefox trying to ask why is it not formatting and all that, and I'm complaining to the camera as I'm recording this. That see guys, Linux has gotten so much easier, right? You totally don't have to learn Turbo Nerd 9000 level stuff to get Linux going. It was just a stupid checkbox I've been missing the entire time. Oh.
So it turns out you didn't need that knowledge.
Yeah, so finally it's installed. I'm still working out the kinks on various applications. It took me a while to figure out. Apparently, you can't use... well, when you go to download Firefox, it doesn't just install. There's no open up the installer application. And so I found out you're pretty much better off searching the App Store first. And if it's not in the App Store, then... have fun installing it, because it seems like Linux doesn't really have its own method of... Well, I mean it does. It's just it's not obvious to the average Joe Schmo yet.
Yeah,
So.
I mean it makes sense because I mean Linux isn't just one operating system. It's if you think about it, because it's so many different. It's effectively so many different UIs and so many.
Well, Linux in itself at its core is a kernel. It's not even an operating system. It's a kernel.
Exactly.
So, the operating system layer on top of this kernel I've chosen is Zorn OS. I was torn between Zorn and Pop OS.
You weren't going to use Ubuntu?
I thought... I mean... Ubuntu and Mint popped up so much, though in my past attempts in trying Mint, I just could not get it to connect to the internet. In part because here comes another thing where, yes, you have to be Turbo Nerd 9000. Most average Joes have no idea what an IP address. For whatever reason with Linux Mint, at least what I've tried years ago, you have to assign your own IP address.
I mean, I think most average Joes do know what an IP address is, but they don't know like how it works.
They don't understand really what it is or the mechanics of it.
All they understand is that an IP address ties your device to a physical location. Like I think that's what everybody understands an IP address as.
Yeah, but they don't actually understand the mechanics of how it works.
Exactly.
And so I don't know if they've changed that. As of today. But the biggest reason why I didn't go with Mint or Ubuntu was those are like... I don't know. I feel like it's almost too safe to go that route. I wanted to try something. I wanted to experience Linux in other ways. Because also, a big problem with the Linux Mint is it's so focused on... the ease of switching people from Windows to Linux. Well, maybe not the internet connection thing, but again, that was years ago last time I tried it. So, I don't know. Mint in particular is so focused on trying to ease Windows users over to Linux, and I don't necessarily need that. I'm fairly... OS agnostic at this point. I can use both Mac OS and Windows. I can jump between the two just fine. On the occasion, I only mix up my control and command keys, but yeah, because I'm so agnostic to the operating system at this point in terms of actually using it. I didn't feel like I wanted to use something that just felt like Windows all over again. I just wanted to try something different.
I get that.
That and Well, yes, it could be argued that I could have just done Mint or Ubuntu. The other thing about Linux too is, I mean, a big perk they say that Linux has is there's so much variety. There's so many flavors. And I think if you just stick to the two primary ones, doesn't it get kind of boring? So why not try one of the other flavors? There's so many out there. So that was my thought process on not doing Linux Mint or Ubuntu, even though they are so popular. And as a complete noob to... Even though I've dabbled in the past with Linux, my only experience is the couple of times I've plugged in that Mint flash drive into my PC and Raspbian OS, which is for my Raspberry Pi. But even then, I'm not really diving into Linux. Technically, but I mean like in the desktop environment.
Yeah, that's...
Android has a lot more polish than... Android has always been way more polished than past desktop versions of Linux. In part because it was managed by Google, so...
Yeah, even though... Yeah, most people don't even think about how Android is a Linux build. Like, I didn't even know Android was a build of Linux for a long time.
Makes me wonder how many people actually realize macOS was built on Unix.
I knew that years ago, but that's because I studied vintage Apple history and like... Hang on, let me grab it actually. Even in the macOS camper box, like, because a big push of macOS 10 when it was first released to try to get people to the new system was based on Unix, solid as a rock.
Yeah.
But that was a big... But Apple tried A/UX, which was their first Unix-based operating system, which technically Linux is based on Unix as well. But Apple tried, and I think BlackBerry OS is too. But Apple tried AUX in the 1980s to get people over Linux on some Mac computers, and they were specifically targeting government agencies like Uncle Sam. However, that failed drastically to do competition for other companies. And this is also Apple under John Scully we're talking about, so... We all know that one, but Apple's second attempt under Steve Jobs when they did Mac OS 10, because Mac OS 9 was desperately outdated at that point compared to competition, that went really well.
Yep. So, that's all I have to say on the Linux challenge as of for now. I will have a video of the setup process coming soon. They'll probably come out before this episode airs because I need to free up some storage on my computer. That's all I have for now. There will be future content on it. I'm planning on doing a video where I challenge myself to do basic tasks. Well, in theory, basic tasks. Things like transferring video footage from my iPhone to Linux, figuring out how to remote into Linux. There's things for that. And just various challenges like that. If you have any suggestions that you'd like to put up, feel free to text them to me and I'll add them to my list. I've done so far. It's an adventure. And I... even despite the frustration that was last night, I'm kind of excited to finally see what is all this hype around this operating system what is all the hype around Linux these days, because it's been a year or 2 years, unless you're me, it's been 10 years since Microsoft has actually made a solid operating system, and because of that, yeah, I can understand why a lot of people want to leave Windows. And, I still would be more inclined to push people more towards macOS, as it's a much more polished experience. Competition is still good. And I really haven't explored that other option. I just haven't explored it that much.
Actually, now that I'm thinking, I think there is one thing you could try on Linux without terminal. Get your own AI model running on there.
Yeah, I don't do AI models, so...
I know. I know you did. That was a joke, in case you can't tell.
Yeah.
But the one thing I've actually been wondering about for at least 4 years now is going back to the Unix thing. I've wondered if I could just install Unix software on Mac OS and just have it work.
It might. I don't know.
Microsoft made a version of Internet Explorer for Unix, like back in the day. So I might have to try it on one of the Macs, but it probably won't work because Apple's probably got some way blocked. Probably doesn't have the right code, but shall I move on to our next topic?
Yeah, I think it's time we actually start getting into the news and all that.
So, the iPhone 4S, iPad 2, and iPod Touch 4 all support untethered downgrades via iOS 6 blobs now. And they'll all go down to the oldest versions that they were made for. So, for example, if your iPhone 4S was manufactured in 2013, in late 2013, then it will only be able to go down to iOS 7 with this method. But, yeah. This is really cool because none of these devices have ever had untethered downgrades to any versions. Yeah,
that's no longer needing to plug it into a computer to get it to work is. I would think that'd be a nice thing.
Yes, because I mean the iPhone 4S and iPad 2 have had untethered downgrades before, but they've been all OTA downgrades that Apple assigned, like 6.1.3 and 8.4.1. But the pretty handy. I will definitely be trying that out. To just that right now I'm filming this Apple Collection video, and hopefully I'll have time after the Apple Collection video to test that out before school starts. Hopefully, because I also kind of want to go outside. But yeah, that's. Shall we move on to our next topic now?
This one's not very surprising at all. Smartphone shipments down in Q2 of 2026 compared to Q2 2025. Gee, I wonder why! Especially with budget Chinese brands.
Yes.
Gee, I wonder why shipments are down. Maybe it's because nobody can either A, afford them, and B, the Rampocalypse? Anyone? Because keep in mind, smartphones need memory too.
Yes.
Oh.
If you want phones without RAM, we'll have to go back to the rotary phone days. I mean, I'm sure I could find an old rotary phone on eBay and try to hook it up. It's just that I don't know how to use one.
I've used rotary phones before.
I'm sure I could get a rotary phone working if I tried to hook it up and figure out how to use one, but of course...
It's actually really easy. It's really not that hard. You might be overthinking it.
I'm sure it's not, but it's definitely
you
not
just
as
stick your
intuitive
finger and you stick your finger in the hole associated with the number on it, and you spin it. You spin the dial all the way to the stop that prevents your finger from spinning the dial any further. You release it. Okay, that's your first number. Then you go to the next number and repeat the process. Stick your finger in the hole, spin the dial to the hard stop, and you keep going until your number is dialed. And if you screw up, you have to hang up and start all over again.
Sounds fun. I mean, probably is easy, but it's not like dialing these days.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to our next topic, though?
Yeah. What's the... Oh, dear. This doesn't look good.
So, AWS, Amazon's web services, they had an error where they were giving their customers bills that were sometimes up to $1 trillion for a monthly bill, for reference.
Oh, monthly bills. I thought you were talking like printed money bills or something.
No.
What are the chances Trump would have his face on that bill?
Donald Trump, a $1 billion, trillion dollar bill.
It's either Trump or Elon.
I do personally think the United States does need to have bills higher than $100. I'll say that.
With how bad inflation's gotten.
I really think that's starting. Like, we might need a $500 bill and a $1,000.
We got rid of
bill.
the penny for crying out loud.
Yes, that. I do think it might be handy to have 500 and 1,000 at least. Although, and then maybe a $5,000 to $10,000 bill, maybe a 50 grand.
Usually those are checks.
No one uses checks anymore, though.
Not true.
Old people use checks, and you apparently, because you're Amish.
I don't use checks. I don't even have a checkbook. I just get paid in checks a lot. You know, have you heard of this thing called a paycheck?
Most of the time, they just directly deposit money into bank accounts. Like, that's what most employers do. So.
Yeah.
So you're different. You know, I know what a paycheck is, Alpha, but that I get them digitally. But yeah, we got.
Though my last well, I finally got paid for building the work PC. I effectively sold it to the company, so that payment was actually in the form of a check. That was not digital. That was in the form of a check.
Mm.
So
Would you
I actually
like
profited off of it, by the way.
Wow. Would you like Would you like to have a $1 trillion bill? Does payment? Imagine if it was.
How are you supposed to break the change? You go to the store to buy a $2 item. Crap! I only have this $1 trillion bill.
And imagine.
People will think you're robbing the place.
Imagine if you only had a. Imagine how bad robbers would get if there's a $1 trillion bill. Since think about it, you could just have $1 trillion in a pocket. Everyone can have $1 trillion. Imagine what would happen to poor Elon Musk. They would get all his cash.
Yes. Oh, jeez.
We got those robbers say, "Yes, we got the $1 trillion bill." Now we can buy computers.
Yeah, we can outbuy Nvidia and Microsoft, everyone on the whole RAM situation. We could stockpile all the RAM.
Yes. Where did she? Now Donald Trump's probably going to actually make a $1 trillion bill.
Yeah, it'll either be his face on it or Elon's. Most likely his face, knowing him.
Yeah. Well, I mean, there also needs to be. I think we need to have at least $1 billion bill before we get to $1 trillion, but you never know.
Didn't we go as high as the $1,000 bill at one point, or?
Did the U.S. ever have a $1,000 bill?
I thought it went as high as 1,000.
Yeah, there used to be a one. Whose face was on it? Oh. There was a $500 bill and there's a $5,000 bill and a $10,000 bill.
Oh, really? Up to 10,000. Whew.
Okay, who was on the?
Oh my goodness!
President Grover Cleveland was on it.
Oh yeah, I thought his face was on a bill at one point.
Yeah, well, we need to bring back the 500. We need to bring back the 500, 1,000, 5,000, and $10,000 bills. Then in that case, because that would actually be useful now. Think how useful that would be for paychecks and buying cars.
Oh, and houses.
Yes. Or actually, no, wait, you need a 50,000 or 100,000 or wait a second. You need $1 million bill to buy a house.
Yeah, these days.
Wonder what bill do you think Jensen Huang's face would be put on?
Ooh.
Because he'd want to have the face on. He'd want his face on one of these bills.
Yeah, except I think his popularity is so bad right now, I don't think he's going to end up getting his face on it.
Actually, he might... Was he even born in the United States? Because they might want to give it to someone who was actually born in... Wait a second, no. Never mind. Alexander Hamilton wasn't born in the United States. Either.
Yeah. So,
okay. Yeah, that's... Shall we move on to our next topic, speaking of Amazon?
Yeah, how else did Amazon screw up?
Speaking of all the big bills they're going to need for this lawsuit.
Yeah, what's up?
So, I'm guessing you got an email from Amazon about this?
No, I did not.
Huh.
Do explain.
I did, but DeCoster v. Amazon is a lawsuit over Amazon violating antitrust laws by using power to implement anti-discounting policy on third-party sellers. And customers who purchase 5 or more physical products on Amazon after May 26, 2017 are eligible for possible benefits, depending on how it plays out.
Well, where's my email? Is it because I don't pay for Prime or something?
I don't pay for Prime either.
Is your account still linked to your mom's, though?
Nope. My Amazon account has never been linked to my mom's.
Mine started out as that, but now it's separate.
Mine's... The Amazon account, my current one is not linked to my mom's at all, but my Apple ID still is linked to my mom's, but
Yeah, that's bizarre that I never got the email, but yeah, that's interesting.
I might see Amazon getting guilty of this, because think about it. How Amazon definitely seems like pushing their own products over third-party sellers.
The amount of times Amazon Basics comes up is really annoying. Especially when I don't like getting like the cheapest of the cheap. Because these days the cheapest of the cheap is crap that's not worth buying. But I don't know. Amazon Basics does not really scream quality to me, so I've never bought any of their stuff. And at the same time, it's just... I see so much of that. I know Amazon's pushing their own crap. Yeah, I don't know. Given general... What's the way I want to phrase it? Do I want to say toxic work culture? Given the typical toxic work culture of Amazon, I think I could kind of see this happening. I don't know. But, yeah, makes sense how Amazon could be guilty of something like this.
Yeah, but next up in terms of lawsuits, there was apparently a settlement over YouTube TV where customers will be eligible for a settlement, which I definitely... So it was a $7.5 million settlement that apparently alleged YouTube and Google violate California law by automatically renewing YouTube TV subscriptions. And so it now will owe you. It's now about to owe you $100.
Well, unfortunately, I don't think either of us qualify for that.
No,
because in case you guys didn't know, YouTube TV is a completely separate service from YouTube.
Yes,
it's stupidly expensive too. They charge an obscene amount of money for that service.
All their competitors are like that too.
They want like over $50 a month though. They want like over $50 a month, not 15, $50.
Yeah, it cost $35 a month when it first launched in 2017.
Yeah, when I first saw how much they're charged for, but are you guys crazy? That's like a meal at a... That's a meal at a nice restaurant.
$50? That's more... Yeah, that is a meal at a nice restaurant.
I would much rather a meal at a nice restaurant than YouTube TV.
Oh, same. It's Lord. The only people who I know who actually subscribe to these services are older people that are so used to cable that they don't understand anything else.
Yeah, but that is just. I mean, I'm glad that there's some money coming back towards these people, but I don't understand how YouTube can get away charging that much. It is just absolutely obscene. I mean, I'm already upset that so many streaming services today charge close to 20, some over $20 a month, when I'd argue their catalog has either gotten stale or just full of crap that nobody wants to watch, aka Netflix. So yeah, it's why I'm going back towards buying my own movies and TV shows. I'm done with the streaming services. The only one I have ever found to be worth it is YouTube Premium.
Yeah, which that's a... Yeah, the only... Yeah, like with music, it makes perfectly sense to go with a subscription service since you can listen to since streaming music is actually affordable, and you can listen to literally unlimited music from literally every artist. Like there's no... Like, it's not all divided up into different streaming services, but with...
Yeah.
For the most part, but it's different.
I mean, you have a good point on that, too. Apple Music, there's really hardly anything that's region-locked in terms of music listening. Now, I found some that are region-locked. I did find some. I had one song in my library that is now region-locked out of this country for whatever reason.
What song is that?
I don't remember. I'd have to...
Wait a second. Now I know why some music won't play. I remember back when I was listening to Simple Plan on Apple Music for the first time, and I remember I was trying to play it, and they were a band from Canada for reference, specifically Quebec, and I remember trying to listen to their song, I'm Just a Kid, and it wouldn't show up.
Yeah, let me look it up. Because I still have it in my playlist.
But I think there's other songs that, even from the US, that have gotten the region locked for some reason.
Search by NM. This is a song from Artlist that I can use in my... It's a copyright-free song. That's why I have it in my library. But apparently once upon a time, you could listen to it here in the United States. Now you can't. They've region-locked it for some reason. But, so yeah, that is the one exception that I found so far. But other than that,
well, it's like
for the most part...
It's with countries, though.
Yeah.
Not with different artists.
I have other songs from NM, too, that are still available here, so there's that. But, I mean, with Netflix, you don't have the access to, like, all of Disney, all of Universal Studios, all of the big movie makers, and then all of that... You have incomplete catalogs compared to the music streaming industry,
which can't be that hard to complete because both industries have copyright, and yet music can go. If music can basically have it not be region locked, then so can movies and TV shows.
Yeah, I'm genuinely confused how I can pay... I don't remember what it's up to now, but I thought it was close to around... Oh, jeez. How much is Apple Music? And the reason why I ask is I don't actually know.
I think it's like $12 a month.
Yeah, so I can pay $12 a month and have access to basically a global library of music. Minus stupid region lock, stupid stuff like that. But for the most part, every TV streaming service, it doesn't really matter what it is. You can't really find one for under $15 a month anymore. I at least can't find one that's under $15 a month. So you have to pay more for your movie streaming services and TV show streaming services. And at the same time, your catalog is not as vast as music. And it's not because there's fewer movies than there is music. No, it's just... I think everyone gets where I'm going. It's just stupid how bad TV streaming has gotten these days.
Exactly, because a big pro because like with Apple Music, you bring up a good point. Like with Apple Music, like basically all the English speaking countries that make music, like you can listen to all of them easily, no matter where you are. But of course, and so a lot of stuff that's probably region locked is probably going to be stuff from very foreign countries they're probably not going to be listening to. But even though I don't even think that's a real problem.
Yeah, I'm sure if you wanted to look up songs from various cultures, you could look up, say, Chinese music, for example. That's a very distinct type. You want to listen to African gospel music? It's not like you can't listen to those songs at all.
Exactly, but that... Shall we move on to our next topic, speaking of YouTube Premium and lawsuits?
Oh my goodness, what's this one about this time?
So, there's a lawsuit over YouTube Premium from 2 California residents because it's not delivering the ad-free experience because it advertises due to sponsored segments that creators have.
I don't think that case is going anywhere because that's completely outside of YouTube's control.
I actually think it might be going somewhere if you think about it. Because think about it for a second.
I mean, I understand the annoyance of the sponsor segments. I do. But at the same time, like, YouTube didn't put that there. That was the creator. That was the person you're watching.
Yeah, so I don't... The only thing I think would make out of this is YouTube creating a bigger policy for sponsorships. Like saying, okay, or a more strict policy, like you have to put the timestamp for the description. It has to automatically skip it. Like that might be the only thing. Or else they could just ban sponsored segments altogether.
I don't think they can do that because if they do that, then that's going to take a massive hit to a lot of creators' livelihoods.
Yeah, that would take a hit to the creators' livelihoods, but I think the lawsuit would result in those two things, I think. So, but I mean, that's one of the things I'm so annoyed about why these creators having sponsorships, because it's like YouTube can control the ads that they put, but they can't control the sponsorship ads. Like, and when I first started watching YouTube, sponsor used to almost never be an issue. Like it wasn't until slowly as this decade started progressing, then it slowly got worse and worse and worse.
Yeah, I don't like a lot of YouTube. The reason why I don't like YouTube ads is, for one, there is often multiple. I've never really seen YouTube videos that do more than 2 sponsors. Except for the one I saw that was literally an April Fool's joke. But, no, the only channel I can think of that does, no, there's two groups of people I watch that does more than one sponsor role, or more than 2. Out of Spec will do more than 1 sponsor read or more than 2 sponsor reads, and then LTT. LTT is so famous for their segues to their sponsors. So, and I understand the annoyance of it. It's like, yeah, you're paying money to not have to watch any ads. And I think for the most part, YouTube does have this feature that it can detect sponsor segments. And I found for the most part, it usually works, and it usually works very well. If it detects a sponsor read, it will provide a little pop-up button that will allow you to skip that section. And then you're back into the main video. So there is a way to skip the sponsored section.
But they should. But I just think I can see. I do, but at the same. I mean, I get the frustration as a full-time creator. Like, you need. Like, I get, like, that frustration. Like, you need money, and YouTube ads aren't sufficient enough. So maybe YouTube will have to cave in and start giving creators more ad money to try. But that's neither here. I mean, but it's the same reason why I don't do sponsors. Because, I mean, I don't want premium subscribers to have to suffer through my ads. And also, the only sponsored offers I've gotten for is just cheap Chinese crap.
Yeah.
And I'd have to lie about that to make it seem appealing.
I mean, most people do that aren't in the tech space. I've noticed so many creators that aren't in the tech space still continue to promote these god-awful Raycon earbuds. Advertising them like they're a premium product. That I can't stand.
I don't see Raycon ads ever. Like I'm dead serious. I don't think I've ever seen a Raycon.
I still see them.
Who advertises them? Actually, I think I've seen a few YouTubers see them now, advertise them now. I think about it.
I don't know. A lot of them are smaller creators I've never really heard of, so it's hard to. It's not really big creators anymore. It's mostly smaller creators. What I mean by small is like 50-ish thousand subscribers and under, something like that. Raycon will often reach out to them, and I don't know if it's just because they don't know any better, or if it's just because they are intentionally reaching out to people that are not in the space, that can tell people, steer clear of these. These things are terrible. So, but, no, the sponsor thing is a hard one. Because, also, guys, keep in mind, YouTube does not make any money from sponsor reads. They don't make any money from that. That is all going directly to the creator of that video, not YouTube. So, I just have a hard time seeing the lawsuit going anywhere because YouTube doesn't see benefit from it. All of that benefit primarily goes to the creator.
So I don't know what will come out of this, but it'll be interesting to see. Yeah, that's all I have to say. So shall we move on to our next topic, which is interesting?
Oh goodness, we're still talking about government stuff. All right, what's up?
Yes.
What the hell?
Yes.
Oh, screw that!
So, the U.S. government now wants a piece of the pie. They want shares of Samsung and SK Hynix.
Absolutely not!
South Korea probably would not allow that, to be honest. Because I know South Korea is our ally, but they're still not gonna allow a foreign government to own shares in their companies. And I don't even want the U.S. government owning shares of U.S. companies in the less.
This is not the point of the government! This is not the point of it at all!
Yeah, but that's...
Goodness gracious!
Sean, speaking of...
First AOC and now this? Ugh!
Shall we move on to Samsung once again with some more dumb topics?
Ugh. Am I going to have a voice by the end of this?
So the Samsung Z Flip Fold and Z Fold A. There's a Z Flip 8, Z Fold 8, and Z Fold 8 Ultra now. They did almost no new upgrades and got price hikes.
But wait, they changed the aspect ratio of one of the Fold devices, so now it's wider.
Like, it's literally meant to compete with the iPhone Fold. Like, Fold 8 Ultra, that's intended to compete with the rumored iPhone Ultra. Like, you just know that Samsung's just trolling Apple at this point.
More phones that people should not buy. I am still surprised that Samsung keeps making them.
Alright, actually, I'm going to do some topics for flip around since I have one more bad topic, and then I'm going to cool it down with some good news.
Oh gosh, what this time?
Do you want me to read this one?
You're going to have to. I'm already generating a headache from the last one.
Elon Musk quietly purchased a $1 billion gas turbine firm to power Grok, Claude, and other AI models, and the turbines are put up without permits and violate emission rules. Oh no, I'm scared of Alpha now. I'm scared of the DeWolf. He's becoming like an actual. He's remaining Alpha, you're alright. You're editing this.
I'm editing this, so I get every opportunity to do this.
So, Elon, this is complete. This is very hypocritical. This does not represent Tesla's values.
No, that last mission statement, that's gone. They clearly don't give a crap about it anymore.
Yeah. Shall I cool down with some good news now?
Yeah, Tesla's old mission statement of to transition the world to sustainable energy. Yeah, there's no adherence to that anymore. And it pisses me off.
I get that, but in good news, solar accounted for the majority of European power in May and June 2026.
Uh-huh. And yet their energy prices are still through the roof.
Yeah, at least, unfortunately, I don't think. The annoying part is that they're not solar panels on people's roofs. Like, they're not stuff that people install on their own roofs, which is really the main purpose of solar, since, I'm sorry, solar farms are not the way to go for solar. You might as well just use normal power grids at that point, since solar panels are not efficient to power whole neighborhoods. Whatever, they just take up valuable farmland, or else valuable land.
Yep.
So this is not a good use of renewable energy.
No, I fully agree with the fact that solar should be reserved for individual buildings, not for like entire cities. It's so hard to
get people used to the idea of no grid.
Well, the problem is, you and I, we're country boys. We live out in rural areas. And because of that, we often don't see how a lot of the way we do things, where we're fairly independent. We have our own cars. We have our own houses. We have our own heating systems and all that. Well, that's not the case in the city, where once you get in the city, you'll find that owning a car is either difficult or impossible.
And of course, and there in the cities, then nuclear power makes a lot more sense.
Yeah, and especially when it comes to other infrastructure, like power, water. Honestly, I think water lines, like out here in the country, I don't know how it works for you, or because I don't know where your house is, nor do I need to. But at least for where I'm at, I'm far enough outside of civilization where, yeah, there's no water line down my road. We have to drill it. We have to pull it up from the ground with a well.
I have to, because I live right close to the city center, I get to my city center, I get city water, and my mom. My mom does not get the point of no utility bills, so when I get a house of my own, I'm digging a well. That's happening.
Yeah.
I'm not paying no monthly water bill, but that's aside.
But yeah, like this house does not have a water line hooked up. It's not hooked up to a sewer line either. We are a well and a septic tank. Well, if every home in the city did that, well, that's just straight up not possible. And so, yeah, solar is great for individual buildings. It's a great utility for in the countryside. But the problem is when you condense all of this stuff into such a tight space, yeah, solar stops making sense, especially when you got all of these stories, you got multi-family dwellings and all that, but you only have so much roof space. Well, whatever solar panels you can fit up there, that's not going to be enough to power the entire building. There's no way. And so, yeah, for cities, it makes sense to have a more external power plant that powers the entire city, everything being interconnected and such. That's why public transportation works so well in the cities. It's because everything's so close and everything's practically interconnected in that way. Compared to out here in the countryside where, no, we can't do public transportation well because we're too far apart and it's not efficient to try to connect everything via a transit line. That's why we have our own individual cars.
Exactly, but that's a really good explanation. But shall we move on to our next topic, speaking of the European Commission?
All right. Is this more EU?
Yes.
What laws?
The European Commission. The European Commission forced Google to open Android to third-party AI assistants and to share search data with the EU.
Third-party AI assistants, I'm not surprised about that, but the sharing of the search... Hold on a minute there.
There's a problem with that. No one in Europe elects any... You realize that no one in Europe elects anyone in the EU, right?
Nope.
Yeah. You didn't know that none of those people are elected?
I was saying yeah, of course they don't get elected.
Yeah, so you literally, if you live in an EU country, you don't have a say unless you petition your country to leave the EU, which granted, that's actually why Iceland's not in the European Union,
and why Britain's not in the European Union either.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't get to choose this. But I mean, sharing search data, this is a violation of privacy, and it shouldn't matter where you are. Privacy should be a fundamental human right. And
obviously they don't respect it, and I mean, not even our own government is respecting it. I don't think we've talked about Flock once on this show yet, and we're not going to talk about it now. That's a whole separate thing.
We have talked about it.
Oh, we have? Okay, yeah. I just don't recall.
We've talked about, if it's Palantir, yeah, we've talked about it.
No, yeah, even in a country where it is explicitly our Fourth Amendment right, our right to privacy, it is being violated left and right by our own government.
Exactly, but that's just... We've gone on the side tangents for enough time, but shall we move on to our next topic, speaking of stupidity?
Oh, gosh. I thought we were supposed to be cooling down. I'm just getting more
Oh, no,
heated.
we're getting back. We're getting back up. OpenAI has a keyboard now for controlling the OpenAI desktop app. Yes, they have a dedicated keyboard for that now. In the midst of a RAM apocalypse that they created, mind you, that I think we can... OpenAI is a very big player to blame for the RAM apocalypse, and they decided to make a hardware product that's now getting more expensive because of this.
Who needs a dedicated key? I mean, with AI these days, it's so smart with the speech recognition. Why bother build a keyboard?
That's very.
We already got these stupid AI voice assistants anyway. Even getting integrated into Gemini and Siri and all that. Why do we need a stupid keyboard then?
It's hypocrite. It's because they realize that voice control doesn't work like what the rest of us realized. But yeah, OpenAI is being hypocritical now, and they're clearly desperate for money. But shall we move on to some news of Jensen Huang?
Oh gosh.
Jensen Huang sold one of his leather jackets for $1 million.
Whoever bought it is
overpaying.
Total NVIDIA investor shill that needs to be taken to a madhouse immediately.
Are you sure? Because this next topic will make that seem very sane.
Do I have to go to a madhouse at this point?
No, but
is
NVIDIA.
This whole show just me getting pissed off?
So you know what Pokemon trading cards are, right?
I do. I do.
You know, NVIDIA is selling their own version now for NVIDIA GeForce.
Oh,
so you might not be able to afford their actual graphics cards anymore. And you won't be able to afford their trading cards either. No. I think trading cards are personally stupid. Anyway, but GeForce trading cards. Really, NVIDIA? Really? You weren't making enough money. I mean, I suppose NVIDIA just lost to Samsung in terms of being the most valuable company in the world, so they gotta keep up somehow.
You never think Samsung would beat Apple in terms of market cap.
All it took was a Rampapocalypse.
Oh, God.
But, shall we move on to our next topic now, which is Gamers Next's big takedown. Next big takedown.
Oh.
I've seen lots of people talk about.
This one. Oh. What sucks is, like, we just bought an LG monitor, like, for the new home PC.
So, LG monitors are installing adware from McAfee's scam detector without users' consent or input onto computers that are connected to. Updated terms of service on all devices permit eavesdropping. LG must now give pop-up after a lawsuit in Texas. And then even LG got caught collecting users' data even when users opted out. And then Texas Attorney General Paxton let LG off the hook for the privacy lawsuit.
What?
Yeah! LG got let off the hook. Alpha, this is not worth banging your head over.
This whole show's giving me a headache today.
Don't worry, our next topic will definitely be better. But yeah, LG, respect people's privacy.
You could say the same for Samsung and every other display maker. Mostly
That's
TV
true.
makers, if I'm being honest.
Oh, yeah, but that's a good point. But shall we move on to Microsoft now? Because I thought Microsoft was bad, but I did not think they were this bad.
Oh, dude, of course they're this bad. They're the worst.
So, Microsoft. So, a couple of executives of high-up people under the Biden administration are now working at Microsoft. And via this exchange, Microsoft has let Chinese firms access sensitive files in the Pentagon.
If that is the case, you know that meme? FBI open up, a bunch of guys come rushing in and start destroying everything?
Yes.
I legitimately think that meme might become a reality in Microsoft's head offices in Seattle.
If this is real, then Bill Gates, Steve Ballmer, and then Satya Nadella They are never going to get out of behind bars.
If this is real, their headquarters is about to become a madhouse.
But if the people... I haven't heard anything about this for a few days, but so I don't know how quite they're dealing with it. But yeah, no, I think it'll be the two executives that left the Biden administration to work for the Chinese firms. They would definitely go behind bars forever if they got caught doing this. I don't know if Bill Gates necessarily would for this, but they would all. But a lot of this is
Once I read that, the first thing I immediately thought was that FBI open up meme.
Yeah,
that's just bad. That's just awful. Now the Pentagon's gonna switch to Linux with this.
Yeah, probably, but or Mac OS maybe. But shall we move on to Tesla now?
Is this good or bad news? I don't know how much more my brain can take.
Some Tesla users are using bioweapon defense mode to combat Canadian wildfire air quality.
Oh yeah, I would understand why.
That's cool.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember, does the Model 3 I'm looking at have it or not? I'm trying to remember if it was added to the Highland Model 3.
Does the bioweapon defense mode, do you not know what all does?
It's effectively a medical grade... So you have your cabin air filter, right? In your car. Your standard cabin air filter in your car. Well, Tesla's... here in the U.S., at least, it was with the Model S and the Model X. R.I.P. They had a separate air filter that was actually medical grade. It was an actual proper HEPA air filter. And because it was so much stronger than your average car's air filter, it was able to filter out so many bad chemicals and such or whatever. They branded it as bioweapon defense mode. And here in the U.S., at least, it was... It came with the Model S and the X, and overseas, I think you could get it on every other Tesla, because particularly if they were made in China. And I assume you could get it in every model that was made in China is because China has their own air quality problems.
China has, I think they have either the second highest or the highest pollution rate in the world. Or third highest. They're in the top 3.
So yeah, you can find Teslas all over Europe. A lot of the Teslas that are in Europe were made in China. So that's why you'll find a lot of Model 3s and Model Ys there, even older ones that have bioweapon defense mode. It's because they were made in China. Now, once Giga Berlin came online, I don't know if they still kept it, but... No, I'm trying to remember if they've ever added bioweapon defense mode to the 3 or the Y here in the U.S., particularly with the Highland and Juniper refreshes.
Yeah, I'd be curious to see if that was a thing, because, that might be handy, especially for somebody, given what's probably going to happen every summer now.
I really hope this does not become the new normal. This has just gotten absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, I agree. Shall we move on to some good news, though? Maybe, depending on how your wallet feels.
What is this?
Tesla is now selling a balance bike for kids. They're basically selling a kid's bike.
Isn't that like a bike with no pedals?
Let me look it up. Tesla balance bike for kids. It's suitable for children 2 to 5 years old. Yeah, it has no pedals.
Yeah, my sister had one of those when she was around that age. I don't know why you'd buy it, but...
yeah, because you could probably buy other balance bikes for cheap, but balance bikes are actually a great way to teach people how to ride bikes. That's how I learned was via striding, but $225 is how much this costs, which I personally think is a little bit much to spend on a kid's toy like this. Actually, no, $225. Let me look up how much balance bikes for kids cost. Bikes for kids. Shopping. There's some for like $115. There's one. Some for like $60. There are some that they're like $250. So I mean, Tesla's price is actually not unreasonable.
I don't know. I still wouldn't buy my child one of those.
Why not?
I'd rather just get them a really tiny bike, not a balance bike. It's just a matter of, okay, are you not ready to use the pedals yet? Then don't use the pedals. But once you're ready to use the pedals, then use the pedals.
I get that point, because that's what I personally would much rather do that too, to be honest, with my kids.
That's why I find these balance bikes kind of dumb, because it's just it's literally a bicycle but without the pedals and the chain to drive the wheel. But the thing is, you can get small bikes with pedals. And
exactly.
here's a trick. If you're trying to teach your kids how to balance on a bike while pedaling, you can still use training wheels. Just lift them up as high as you can so the bike has the ability to tilt still. It won't... It will still prevent the bike from completely falling over so your kid doesn't hurt themselves that bad, but it allows tilt. So that way the child can figure out how to balance themselves on it.
Yeah, I don't know how... When I learned how to actually bike, I was 12, so I was in a little bit of a different situation. Yes, I was 12 when I learned how to ride my
Gosh.
bike, But when I was 12, that's what I did, was I literally just took the pedal. I literally just driving my bike to get a feel for the balance, and then eventually I learned how to use the pedals in like a couple months.
I remember my cousin had turned 6, and he had just learned to take the training wheels off his bike, and he finally rode a bike without training wheels. And his younger sister was so jealous, she asked her dad to take the training wheels off her bike, and at an age of 4 years old, she rode a bicycle. No training wheels.
Oh, no, I've seen 4-year-olds do that too. I mean, crazy. When I saw one of my grandma's neighbor kids, who was about the time he was 4, it was in 2020, he was riding a bike at 4 just fine. So, I mean, 4-year-olds could... One thing I've generally found is that kids of older siblings have a tendency to develop faster. Like, or not develop faster, but they learn more stuff faster, like how to ride bikes.
Yeah, I find the balance bikes to be kind of dumb. I just get a bike with pedals, and if they're not comfortable using the pedals yet, then don't use them.
Exactly, because they will get comfortable if using the pedals sometime, or at least they should. But shall I move on to our next topic that it's bad news.
Oh my god! No, Apple! How could you?
Apple is on July 28th. They're rumored to launch a leasing subscription service due to the apocalypse for the iPhone, iPad, Apple Watch, and Mac in partnership with Klarna. No, don't use this.
Absolutely not. I was mad when NZXT first launched something similar to this. It was a year or 2 ago at this point. I was mad when HP did this last year with their laptops. Apple, this isn't buying you any favors.
No, I can't. I don't know anybody that would pay for this, to be honest.
Sad thing is, I do.
I mean, I know people that probably would pay for it, but they're like the less tech savvy people. Like, we would never pay for this. I know.
Yeah. No, this is just... Gosh, I hate that we just continue to keep pushing towards this you'll own nothing and be happy future.
Yeah, I mean, sure, I don't own... Sure, I don't own any of my music, but at least I get unlimited access to all the songs I want to with Apple Music. And I can still buy them individually if I want to. It's just that I don't have money right now to do that. Or I mean, I don't. Or I mean, that's not a good use of my finances, I should say, but I don't. But I mean, at least... Well, physical products, no, I'd rather own my own devices.
I mean, let me give this analogy, because I actually can now. Ever since June of 2023, from a legal, technical standpoint, I didn't actually own a car. Who owned the car? The bank. Not me. And until by the end of this year, from the looks of it, yes, I'm actually serious. It looks like by the end of this year, I'll have the car finally paid off. Until then, I technically don't own a car. And even though I like the car, I still don't like having this feeling in the back of my head that if something happens to me, be it I lose my job, or I have to take a cut in pay, or hopefully that never happens, or inflation skyrockets to something completely unreasonable and I just can't afford anything.
Or if the economy deflates enough, because people talk about inflation being bad, but deflation is just as bad, if not worse.
Yeah, we need stability in our dollars is one thing, but I will admit I do carry around this feeling in the back of my head. If something happens to me financially, something goes horribly wrong, I lose the car. Because I technically don't own it. The bank does. And I'll admit, while I don't like the GMC as much as I like Stardust, notice I still haven't given the GMC a proper name yet, I do own that car. The bank doesn't own it. I paid $4,000 in cash, in full, for that car. So I own it. Nobody can take that car away from me. I mean, the government could revoke my registration or license or whatever. They could. All of that stuff, it doesn't matter. I still own the car. It can't be taken from me. But Stardust can, until I have her fully paid off.
But with the subscription service, you will never own it.
It will be the exact same situation as my car. I do like the car. It has, I'll be honest, for the most part, aside from the door lock situation that is still driving me crazy to this day, and the one grill shutter incident a couple of years ago, the car has mostly made me happy. It has. I've been happy that it's been able to get me from point A to point B reliably and efficiently. I love the gas mileage of that thing, even though it's still not enough these days. It has made me happy, but not completely. I still have to worry about if I can't keep up on the payments, it will be taken from me. And then I have to deal with the gas-guzzling engine of my GMC. And
exactly.
The same goes for another thing, too. I really don't want to rent a house. I don't. Why is that? Because if I get in a disagreement with my landlord, I don't have a place to live. I want the space for myself, and no one can take it with me. I find what's the best way to describe that feeling? I find a sense of peace in knowing something can't be taken from me, especially when it's something as crucial as shelter or transportation, mobility.
Get that.
I don't want, and in the case of a smartphone too, communication, the ability to communicate. I don't want that stuff taken from me. Because it hinders my ability to live my life. If I don't have shelter, that's a massive problem. If I don't have transportation, how do I get to work? How do I get to the store? How do I get to church? It's a problem. And if I don't have my phone, how do I communicate with people? And so, I mean, I've really been fed up with all of these subscription services because these are, while they are technically a part of this problem, it's not as crucial. Like, we all can live without a music library or TV shows and all that. We can all live without it. We can create our own entertainment. I've done a lot of that, especially growing up. And even still to this day. A lot of my entertainment I create myself just by posting videos on YouTube. It's just... I'm really trying to understand where this "you'll own nothing and be happy" mindset is coming from. The only thing I can think of where they can get the "and you'll be happy" part is, oh, you don't have the responsibility anymore. You don't own your home? Well, guess what? You're not in charge of the upkeep. Pipe burst? That's on your landlord, not you. What is it? You break your panel blow and you have no electricity? That's not your problem. That's the landlord's problem. So, yeah, it frees you of the responsibility. It frees you of having to worry about maintaining these things. And I do still worry about maintaining the stuff that I do own, like my cars, for example. Especially the GMC. I have no idea what shenanigans are going to come along with that as I own it. I've already still have to deal with the exhaust pipe, and I'm seeing that a brake line, while the brakes are functioning just fine on it now, but there's a brake line that's kind of rusted out, so I don't know when that's going to blow. But I know it's going to blow at some point. And then, of course, the car is just rusted out in general. I don't know if I'm going to start losing suspension components or various things like that. So, again, I didn't plan on keeping the GMC for, like, long term. I'm only buying it just because I don't have the money for a truck yet. But once I do have the money for a truck, yeah, that GMC is going. So, yeah, I understand wanting to be free of responsibilities, but you know what? There's a cost even to freeing yourself of responsibility.
Exactly. The perfect analogy I can give to this is it's like when you're a kid, you always want to be an older. You always want to be a grown-up because when you're a grown-up, you don't have the direct control of your parents to say, like, your parent. Like, you don't have direct control of your parents once you're a grown-up and you live in your own place. You don't have that direct control anymore. And sure, and you do have to have your own, but everybody as an adult says, oh, I wish I was a kid again, so that way I wouldn't have, so that way I don't have to pay, so that way I don't have to, so that way I don't have to deal with responsibilities. The problem is there's a trade-off both ways, because, like, when you're a kid, you don't have a lot of freedom as a kid.
You don't.
Like, even if your parents raise you well to have good freedom, like, you don't have, you still have limitations. Like, you can't drive anywhere you want to. You can't make much money. You
And then
can't
then you have just general parenting rules, like you're only allowed this much time on the iPad.
Yeah, I never had one of those rules, but I was also never really that.
Well, that's a very common one amongst
device.
families,
That
you
is
get the
one,
picture. So, yeah. I think that's the big thing so many people ignore. Responsibilities never go away. They never go away. There's things that still have to be taken care of. Someone's gotta pay the grocery bill. Someone's gotta work for that. Someone's gotta fix the leaky faucet. Someone's gotta fix the breaker panel if it ever blows. Someone's gotta fix the car when that breaks. And even though, yes, it's nice to have the ability to have lights in our house with electricity, have water at our clean water at our disposal from a faucet, a lot of people don't understand the responsibility that goes into keeping that stuff maintained. And I don't know if it's just our generation in particular has gone so soft with wanting to work. I don't necessarily know who to blame with that, and I only continue to see this getting worse. But I don't know. I feel our generation has gotten so soft because I see so many people of our generation, and part of it may be market conditions, part of it might not be. But a lot of our generation doesn't mind renting an apartment or renting a house or leasing a car. They don't mind not owning these things. And I don't know if it's just because of market pressure due to financial levels, or if it's just they don't want the responsibility of, okay, if something breaks on your house, you got to maintain it. And then same story might be with cars too, although you still are in charge of fixing your car if it breaks. But
yeah, I mean that's a great analogy if you think about it. It could be partially self-inflicted because I think part of the reason why young people can't afford houses can't afford this stuff is partially because it's for two problems, because it's not young people constantly switch jobs. I see, and I'm like, why?
That's another problem too.
I see so many people I know at my school switching jobs, and I'm like, why? None of these jobs are going to be good. Don't switch jobs constantly. Yeah, people will constantly change.
I'll also have you note, it looks bad on your resume if you do that.
Yes. Yeah, it looks insanely bad on your resume, because think about it. I want to become a business owner when I grow up. I do. And I'll tell you right now, if I see a resume with lots of job switching, oh yeah, you're a lot less likely to be hired,
And here's the reason why. It's because if you're not going to stay here long enough, keep in mind, when you get hired onto a new job, you have to be trained. And that is a cost to the business. Aside from just paying you. They have to take their time to train you. And that time is money. And if they see on your resume you switch jobs a lot, they're going to think it is not worth my time investing into training you if you're just going to leave me this fast.
Exactly. That's one thing that dropped. That's why I don't. That's why I want to pick one career path and stick with it when I grow up. So that way I can just. So that way I can just keep. So that way I'll just be able to keep one path, and I'll show dedication, and it'll be able to get me a very good career. It'll get. That's what am I trying to? But switching. But also, why would you switch? Now, granted, I understand if you keep getting fired from your jobs, then granted, sometimes it can be due to market conditions, but that also shows that you might not be the best worker either.
That's another reason. If they see that you've worked for so many companies, why is it you haven't stuck with one for a while? They might look into that and see if you're a good worker or not. That's another reason.
Exactly. Like take this analogy outside of work. Let's say Alpha's picking between two women. Would you rather date a woman who's dated 20 other guys, or one that's dated 2 other guys, or 1 or 0?
Oh, that's an easy one. Only 2, or whatever it was.
Yeah, same. Exactly. Exactly. It's the same thing with jobs, and it's like
it is very similar.
And it's a bigger reason why in theory, and it's a bigger reason why you should want to hire younger people for jobs. Because, let's be honest, younger people, if they're dedicated, they will be able to stay at the company longer and will be able to build a big relationship with the company.
You have no idea the amount of value I have at the company that I work at.
Exactly. It's great. You're one of the best workers I've seen, honestly, and you're...
I literally have this skill set where I could get a job anywhere in this country. I could literally quit my job today and go work somewhere else, maybe for better pay, for example. And my parents keep pushing me to do that on the occasion. I just have other reasons why I stay with this one. But
you're building a relationship with one company, which just goes to show you that you're a really dedicated worker.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of times firm owners find that it's really hard to get younger people to want to do work.
Yeah,
of any kind. Is. But I think another part of it is definitely caused by college degrees. Of course, students getting college degrees that can't really get jobs, result in jobs.
Well,
and so as a result they wind up working minimum wage jobs, or else barely even working, which that drives me nuts too.
Well, here's the thing about getting college degrees, and I discovered this with a former coworker. He had just freshly graduated from Michigan Tech, our local university. Done his 4 years, getting an engineering degree. He was struggling to find employment, and the reason
even with engineering.
Here's the reason why. He's not the only one from his class. The problem is when you have all these people just graduate straight from college, you're all on the same level. You don't stand out in particular compared to your classmates. And at that point, yeah, sure, you have the degree, but especially if you don't have any other working experience, you don't stand out.
Or else if you have working experience at fast food places, from when you were a teenager or something.
Well, then there's other things too, like working on a farm. That actually looks really good on a resume, by the way. Because working on a farm is not a pleasant job. It really is not.
I get it. It's and there are some jobs that you ultimately have to get college degrees for, like medical field.
Yeah, that makes sense.
You don't want people fixing you that don't have proper training.
So, but it's even a problem I've discovered. Apparently, yeah, you can work so hard to get this degree, but the problem is you're not the only one who's done it. So many other people have, and now you don't stand out. You don't have a reason to be hired compared to the rest of your classmates.
Whereas if I do the electrical apprenticeship, which I really want to do after high school, then sure, there's probably going to be a few others from my class that'll do it, but I'm immediately applying to get a job. And so 4 years later, after everybody else graduates, or almost everybody else graduates from college, I'll have 4 more years of working experience, and I'll start. And the apprenticeship starting pay, I believe, is without overtime hours. I believe it's like, or I believe the starting apprenticeship pay where I am is like teacher level salary. I think maybe a little bit more depending. Which, granted, for somebody who just graduated high school and has no student loan debt, that's incredible.
Yeah.
Because you don't have to pay a penny to go. If you do the apprenticeship, you don't have to pay a penny to go to trade school.
Well, I didn't even go to a trade school. I know
No,
I've
you
been
did.
recommended all of... The thing is, I learned most of my stuff in my own ways. Not through government programs or college-level stuff. Or
No, you learned it all by hands-on experience, which is what the apprenticeship is all about.
Yes.
There should be apprenticeships for so many more jobs out there, honestly.
Yeah, you'd be amazed what on-the-job training can teach you. I've learned... I mean, I also have recently witnessed this from outside of my... What happened to me with another coworker. A year ago, hired on someone else... Legitimately no machining experience. Never has even seen a CNC machine shop before. And the reason he was hired on was kids just graduated, going off to college. He wants to assist in paying for their college. So that's why he was looking for work. And so we took him on, despite that he had no training. And I can't reveal too many details, but let me tell you, my goodness... He has picked up so much, and because he has picked up so much, despite never seeing a CNC machine in his life...
Is he not going to college now?
He did go to college. For reference, he's about my dad's age. So...
Oh.
Yeah. No, yeah. I said, this is a guy, kids just graduated, they're going off to college. He wants
I thought
to
you were
help
talking
pay for
about a
the college.
kid.
No,
Sorry.
this is a dad.
No.
This is a father. Yeah, he's never seen a CNC machine before. And he's doing so well. He's doing
That's what
absolutely
apprenticeships
so well.
do. They'll teach you so well.
Yeah, it's a big reason I don't have a lot of faith in the colleges these days.
A classroom is not real world training. But shall we get back to our topics because we still have 2 more topics left?
Oh, I completely forgot about those 2. Yeah, we probably should.
So, our next topic, speaking of the people who designed this probably went to college, but OpenAI's first device will be a movable smart speaker built as an AI companion.
No thanks.
Yeah, no. Shall we move on to our next topic now?
Hisense phone. Really, Hisense is making a phone now. Oh, with an e-ink display on front with color LCD that you can attach on back. Okay, this is really bizarre.
Yes.
If you want a color LCD. Wow. So the primary display is e-ink. Which is... Well, color e-ink does exist.
Yes.
So... Are they not doing a color e-ink display?
I don't think so.
Yeah, that's kind of... That's a bizarre choice because it exists. Color e-ink does exist.
But I mean,
Is
for
it
the
just a
color
scale
LCD
problem?
No, they're just... No, they legit just... It's just not planning to be color, but they don't... But I mean, even on... But the back hat being color LCD, like... The only time you'd want an LCD, something like an LCD is when you're watching videos or something. When you would want the bigger screen.
Yeah.
So that's so dumb, but...
Yeah, this is really stupid.
I agree, but now we're out of topic. So now we can go on as many side tangents as we want.
Yeah. You know, I thought of something else for our You'll Own Nothing and Be Happy responsibility things. Another example I thought about bringing up. The security camera system. What do most people do when they install security cameras in their home?
Cloud ones.
I have no intention of cloud security cameras. Absolutely none. Not just from a security standpoint, but, I mean, then you're also relying on another service to do their job properly. And let's be real, these days, no, they don't do their job properly.
Exactly, exactly, another analogy is that I'm now running out of iCloud storage once again.
Yes.
Yeah. And I don't want to go back up to, I don't want to go up to 200 gigabytes, especially because I know the prices of iCloud Plus are probably going to increase.
You know, if I do come visit your house, we should put together a server, like a proper server. So that way you can at least stop using iCloud photos and...
That's probably... My mom's not going to allow that. That's a problem.
What, the server or...
Yeah.
Oh.
That's why That's why I wanted an airport for Christmas, but Mom said no. You can't... And Mom got it for me, but no, she said I can't actually set it up. Set it up in the proper router space. So I can't... I legit can't use it.
For your information, a server is not exactly a Wi-Fi router, if that's what she's worried about.
Mom's probably not going to let us set that up, so...
I was thinking, like, building what I have beside me.
No, Mom's not going to... I don't know about that. I mean, I don't... Right now, I just don't...
Because all I'm trying to pitch is just build a massive external hard drive that instead of plugging in via USB, it's just through an Ethernet cable.
I don't have Ethernet in my room.
That or you could hook it up to... or just think of it as a giant hard drive that you can connect to the Wi-Fi. You don't even need, like, your own personal router to make it work.
No, I get the benefits of it. It's just that my mom doesn't want us messing with the Wi-Fi network. So yeah, no, I highly doubt. Yeah, I highly doubt you'll be coming here. But yeah, no, Mom's not. I don't see Mom entirely going for that. So that's. I mean, I'll have to ask her for sure. So I don't know for sure. But yeah, no, I don't. I don't see Mom going for the server idea. But. I actually do have spare hard drives though that I could wipe and use for it. They're old that I've harvested from my old Mac, so.
Oh, that would be that. You know what? That would be a good project.
So.
How cheap can you get one of those old Mac Pros?
They are quite expensive to get on eBay. Not only because the computers themselves aren't that bad, but the shipping costs are insanely high. Like get one on Marketplace if you get one.
Okay, if that's the case, maybe we look on Facebook Marketplace near your closest city and try to find one. Because that would be an excellent chassis to build a server out of.
Why build on a Mac Pro? You know what I actually want to do if we're going to build it off of an old Apple chassis?
What?
I want to do it off of a proper server made by Apple.
Oh, I know what you're getting at. I know what you're getting at.
I've wanted one of those for years.
The Xserve.
I know they're quite loud, but I want an Xserve.
Can you even fit hard drives in them?
Of course you can.
Because the thing is, they're thin. They're thin computers.
The Xserve is designed to fit hard drives in it.
I don't know. It's been a while since I've seen one. So...
Yeah, no, the Xserve is designed for... Both the PowerPC and the Intel generations are both designed to fit hard drives in them. So yeah, no, you can fit... You can fit pretty decent... The Xserves were server-grade computers at one point, so yeah...
I know! I just thought they were designed for, like, processing power, not necessarily mass data storage.
No, I think they can hold a decent amount in them, because
I only see 3 bays. Ah, yep, here's an image. A tiny one. Yep, that's 3 hard drive bays.
Okay, okay, that's not a lot, but yeah, Mac Pro probably would be better.
What's this? What's this? Xserve RAID?
No, there are some extras of 4, because yeah, no, I see 6 colors covering.
Quickly Google
Cool.
Xserve RAID. See if that's a thing.
Oh yeah, that's a thing. Let's see.
That would be what you're looking for if you're looking to build a storage server.
Oh my! I can get one for $800.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Dude, that would be so awesome to get one of those working. That would make such a great video.
I don't have space in my room for it, really, so I'd have to make some. And it's,
Well, ideally what you do is you mount it on a rack and hide it in your closet so you don't have to listen to it.
My closet does not have good. I can't put tech in my closet because the problem is that my closet really has no ventilation in it, it's not. It basically gets. It does not have proper.
And I suppose all the
area.
cat hair isn't going to help with that either.
Oh no, there's probably cat buried in that. So yeah, no, that's not. My closet isn't. Also, there are no outlets in my closet.
Oh yeah, that'd be a problem.
Because my closet is my closet is packed with real other stuff. Since have you watched my room tours where I've shown the closet?
Yeah, I've seen it. Yeah. So
yeah,
but,
no, it's not.
But ideally, what you do is you get a server rack and you mount this to a server rack.
Now when I move out, and get my own bigger space, and I'm gonna try. Then my plan is depending on how soon a kid comes. Then my plan is if I have a little bit of time before a kid comes, then I'm getting a big. My plan is to really expand my Mac collection.
Yeah.
Because there's some desktops I would like to acquire. Like, you don't know how badly I want an iMac G4.
Yep. I still wish I had the original iMac.
I want to get at least every model year of the iMac. Like, I want to get one of the later 1999 slot loading ones, and it would be cool to. I have an early 1991 Tangerine one, but it might be nice to have a Bondi blue one. Just saying.
Yeah, the blue one always looks the best.
Oh, yeah. I somehow have both variants of the iBook clamshell, which I really do not recommend buying a clamshell if you collect Apple products, because they're way too expensive, and they're so hard to repair. Anything besides the RAM and I tried putting an airport card in one of mine, but it's not working. So
yeah. That would be an epic project, getting Xserve RAID going to finally solve your storage problems.
yeah, right. I mean, because another big problem is too, this is one thing I need iCloud is I do want to have local files on my phone as well, but I want to have them backed up to I'd have to do some extra configuration to get back up to the cloud server, but even then the bigger problem, which I suppose is just my problem, is I have all my text back up to my iCloud and they take up 18 gigabytes.
Do you have delete messages after a certain time period or something enabled?
No, and there's a reason why I don't have that enabled. I don't have that enabled because I sometimes do look back at my old text to figure out okay, when did I text this person this or something, or else when did I talk about this with a certain person? I do actually look back at my older text, so no, I don't have that feature enabled.
I'm trying to remember what the setting for how far back it can hold on to before it deletes it.
Because I remember back earlier this year, actually, when I was preparing for my grandma for the ice storm, I was trying to figure, because my grandma had never charged her power bank before, and I bought her an Anchor power bank for one of her birthdays. I searched through my text, because texted my grandma and asked her what you want for her birthday, and she said it was a big power, and she said she wanted one of those power banks. So I looked back, I searched my text messages really quickly to find that, and I found, yeah, it's this time. Yeah, and found one in 2022, and then her text right after that was, "Have a great first day of 8th grade." So yeah, no, sometimes I do look back at my old texts. I know it's stupidly sentimental of me, but
so yeah, I don't know how to help you with that aspect of it, at least, but
I probably should have. I might benefit from having all delete old text messages on, but
yeah, I don't know. I don't personally find a lot of value in old text message conversations. And for me, it might primarily just be like, what is your status? That's often what I'm texting, often so much. And it's like, I don't need to remember how many times I ask, hey, what's your status?
yeah. I suppose that's true. Well, I mean, also, I guess a lot of my texts, usually I don't ask, what's your status? Usually let me look through my text right now and see what I usually text people. Text people a lot. I text kind of a lot. I text the YouTube discussion I get lots of texts from that.
Gee, I wonder why.
From my mom telling me don't let Olaf out when I get home. I've got the drive gate open. Mom just texts me. My mom texts me every day asking me if she wants me to start making my lunch. If that's pretty okay, maybe that one's not sentimental. Got that. I'd have my family group chat. My aunt went through one of her old computers and found old photos of me. One girl I go to school with called me at 12:01 a.m. Central Time.
Jeez.
Yeah, I suppose I should. Yeah, it might help to delete some of these. Yeah, deleting that conversation. My bank conversation, I can delete that.
Yeah, I find it annoying that these days we rely so much on texting for our communication. I'm one of the people who prefers doing it in person is always the best.
Yes,
but if you can't do it, then a phone call at least.
I hate calling people personally just because I can't look back into the conversations with a call. I also just don't like going through the effort of talking to people, since I have to be in a specific environment in order to call people, and I can just text people at any time. So
yeah, I hate texting because it's hard to express or emphasize. I mean, you can try with all caps, or there's so many different ways we can try to express ourselves through text messaging. But to me, it just doesn't even compare to a phone call. It just doesn't even compare.
yeah, I don't personally like calling people, but then again, I'm not often in a good spot to make phone calls. So
Reminds me of my phone frustrations all day today. Trying to get an appointment for the GMC so that way I can finally get the exhaust thing done. And nobody is answering their stupid phone. No matter which auto repair shop I called, nobody answered the phone. All of their voicemails are full, and so I decided tomorrow for lunch, on my lunch break, I am literally just driving all across town, visiting all of these shops in person, because clearly I can't trust them to answer the phone. And what's annoying is these are businesses.
Yeah, it's so hard to get people to actually answer texts or calls sometimes. Like it's like if you text or call me, unless it's in the middle of the night, then usually I'll respond as soon as I'm available.
Yeah, you respond fairly quickly.
Yeah, like you. Tabby is not like that, but
no,
as we all know. But you.
I understand really why, but yeah.
You respond usually really quickly though too.
If I see an opportunity.
And like my mom, she usually replies pretty quickly. Like most of my relatives reply pretty quickly, except for my dad. He's slow at responding to texts. But like it drives me nuts when people are so slow at responding to texts. And it's like, if it's a text, then I probably
I know.
Because like a text is supposed to be instant. Like I get a very quick response.
No, texts are not meant for instant.
Or it's supposed to be like a near instant response. Because like with calling, I get it. Not everybody's available to call at that specific moment. But with a text, granted, I don't expect I don't care if it's not instant, but I mean, if I have to wait hours or days even for a text response, like that just drives me nuts.
I mean, that's how I try to treat my text messages. I'll get to them when I get to them, and while at the moment, sure, I get to them fairly quickly, but I don't want to be in this position where if I don't respond right away, don't be mad at me. I've got a life too, and this is how I feel. If you want to talk to me that badly, give me a call. That's how it used to be, by the way. You need to reach out to someone because you need information from them right then, right there. You give them a call. Because even if they don't answer it right away, they know, okay, if it's important enough to call, I should perhaps reach out to this person. Compared to if it's a text message, it can't be that important.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I sort of get that. I mean, I call my dad if it's something important, although to be fair, it's because my dad does not respond to texts always, so that's aside. I just prefer texting, but that's just me, But again, for firms not responding to calls, like for businesses doing it, like that drives me nuts, because like businesses should always have their phones open.
Especially their voicemails. In fact, if your voicemail box happens to be full, then here's another thing that kind of drives me nuts. It's 2026. Caller ID is a thing. If I call a business and they can't answer the phone right away, because there's times when that happens, at least offer a call back. It's not weird to call people back. Especially if they call you 5 times trying to get in touch. It's not weird to call back.
One reason why I think they might not do that is because it could possibly be a spam call, and like they don't want to give the person's voice away because that could be used for malicious intentions by a scammer. Which I get that, okay, I get that reason, but in that case, do a text back at least if you can.
Well, I'd argue actually that doesn't work, because if you're worried about that, then you can't take calls from anyone, because typically every number out there is unknown.
That's a risk that's technically a risk you have to take as a business.
Yeah. So, in my opinion, if you want good customer service, if you can't answer the phone right away, offer a callback. That, and these days, the phones that businesses have, they have caller ID on them, and often have the same features that our smartphones do, where they can identify this is potential spam, yeah. Those phones have that functionality too.
Caller ID has been a thing since the turn of the millennium, at least.
So, yeah, I guess that's my message to businesses in particular. Offering a callback, calling someone back, is not weird. It's not weird at all. Especially if I call like 5 times. I'm clearly trying to get in touch with you for a business inquiry.
What is with the sudden social acceptance of ghosting people?
Yeah, that's a really annoying thing that I can't stand these days.
Exactly. Like, this is why I don't bother having guests on the show anymore. It's because I have too many no-shows, or else people that aren't available right then. I'm like, yeah, you should. If this is an important guest arrangement, like, you should be ready at 5:30 Central on Thursdays to go. And if not, then you should text us immediately to let us know what's going on.
Yep.
But no, that's not. Ghosting is annoying.
Yep. Oh, I should talk about one more thing before we hang up on the show.
What's up?
It came.
Crap! I forgot to add that topic in, Alf.
So, it's unfortunately the Lightning one, not the USB-C.
But it's blue, which they don't sell separately.
Yep, for your information, you can't buy this new. You can't. You can only get these when you buy an iMac of that color. Or if you look on secondhand. Now, I'm surprised that I found this keyboard on Amazon. Amazon actually sold this. And they sold it at a reasonable price too. It was $106. That's almost 50% off. And I'm looking at the condition of this. Not a scuff. There are no scuffs on this keyboard at all. It's basically in brand new condition. So it's basically a brand new blue. It's kind of hard to get it to show up on camera, but it's a blue Magic Keyboard with Touch ID and numeric keypad for $106.
Is this the... Were you all USB-C before, or did you still have... Your AirPods Max are still Lightning, and your Magic Mouse.
Yep, so my peripherals are still Lightning, including my AirPods Max. My previous keyboard was actually neither Type-C or Lightning.
It was micro USB.
It was micro USB.
Oh yeah, I hate micro USB.
So I'm glad to be off of that standard.
I'm glad when really old devices have it, so because at least it's a common connect cord that I have.
Yeah.
But that's only for old devices. These days I can't stand it when like my bedside table lamp. This thing has micro USB. Yes, it's a new lamp with micro USB.
It's like even the webcam I just bought for my work PC, even that is a Type-C connection. Not even that uses micro USB anymore.
Exactly, but shall we go ahead and conclude the show now?
I agree, because, I get to edit it this time. I got so much editing to do. I got to finish the video that is like over a year overdue. It's my mom's car.
Oh yeah, that video is longer.
Yeah, she's had this car for a year, by the way. I just never took the time to edit the footage. I shot the footage over a year ago. I just never edited it. So I'm getting that wrapped up. And then I got to wrap up the video on the Linux challenge, and then the show will come out. So, yeah, I got a lot of editing to do. So, Teddy, let's close the show.
I got my normal editing doing then an Apple Collection video. So, as always, thank you all for tuning into another episode of iTunes Fan Podcast. As always, I'm Teddy Mac from the iTunes Fanboy.
And my name is Alpha DeWolf from the Random Alpha.
As always, we're saying peace out. For now, we hope to see you all next week.